Hi everybody, this is Dr. Jean-Guy. Today I'd like to talk to you about fish oil. Fish oil is an interesting topic. It's a fascinating topic. However, there is a lot of misconception about fish oil, what they do, are they any beneficial, right? Do people benefit from fish oil? How much should you pay for fish oil? Should you even pay for it? Should you try to get it free? So I want to start by saying, hey, you know what? In the world of fish oil, right, the first thing is you pay for two things. You pay for quality and you pay for concentration. So I'm going to say this again. You pay for quality and you pay for concentration, and I'll give you some example of that as we go, right? So there's a couple things that you need to know about fish oil. First thing is quality. Quality, what does that mean? Is if you buy fish oil, the fish oil should be pharmaceutical grade and or molecular distilled. So what does that mean? It's the way that they're being processed, the way that they're being purified, and that we're removing all the toxicity out of the oil so it doesn't go into your body. Does that make sense? Say yes. Okay, so that's number one, the quality. Molecular distilled and or pharmaceutical grade. And again, what that means is the way that the fish oil is being purified, and we're removing the dioxin, the furans, the heavy metals out, right? So when we do that, then the fish oil that you're taking, you can get some benefit. So that's number one. That's the quality. That's really important. If you don't know that you're buying quality, you may as well not buy it. There's fish oil at $5. There's fish oil at $60. What's the difference? Is the quality and the concentration. So I want you to know that when I say fish oil, you should be thinking quality, concentration, right? Those are two things. Then number two is I want to tell you what's the benefit of fish oil. There's lots of benefit from fish oil. If you go in PubMed right now and you look at the research behind the fish oil, there's like thousands of articles. There's literally thousands of articles. And those articles are about all kinds of topics, but I'm going to just give you a few of them. Is number one, fish oil is good for your eyes. Fish oil is good for your immune system. Fish oil is good for your joints. Fish oil is good for anything that has to do with cell function. You know, fish oil has something to do with that because there's anywhere between 70 to 100 trillion cells in your body. And every single cells in your body, they're made from essential fatty acid, from omega-3 fatty acid, which is fish oil, right? So maybe you did not know that, but I just want you to be aware that fish oil is, you know, if you can take fish oil for inflammation, you can take fish oil for pain. It's also like it's considered to be a natural anti-inflammatory, which is, right, if you have some chronic pain or inflammation, you've got to be on fish oil. Matter of fact, everybody out there should be on fish oil. And the reason for that is because we don't have enough coming from our diet. So every one of you here, with no exception, nutrition basic is fish oil should be part of that. Now there's a lot of different types of fish oil. There's not like one kind and you're like, this is it. There's a lot of different kinds. So I want to share some of that with you today. So in the medical literature, when they give fish oil to people that have inflammation, right? Usually the fish oil, what they're going to be looking for is, in the world of fish oil, you have this thing when you read the label, it's called EPA, and then right underneath it's called DHA, and I'm not going to say that out loud, the big name of it, because you won't remember anyway, and I am French and I don't know how to say it. But anyway, EPA and DHA, and when they're going after the inflammation, usually the EPA is 2 times more than the DHA. This is what's in the fish oil and what you're going to read on the label, which you're not going to see right now because it's too small. So if you're going after the inflammation, you should look at a ratio of 2 to 1. Twice as much of EPA versus DHA. This one right here, that's what that is. Twice as many EPA versus DHA. We also have that in a liquid form, right? So if you take 1 teaspoon of this guy right here, it's like taking 5 of those capsules, right? So which one do you think is going to be more expensive? This one. But if you cannot tolerate, you cannot stomach the liquid, then you should probably take this guy right here. Now in the world of fish oil, or also omega-3 fatty acid, you also have omega-3, omega-6, omega-9. They're all essential fatty acid. They're all important. But most people, if you know a little bit about fish oil, right, you probably have heard of omega-3 fatty acid, which you find in fish, right? And one that is the most well-known is like salmon. There's a lot of, omega-3s in salmon. So you also have other fish oil that the ratio, it's more like split throughout between the omega-3, the omega-6, the omega-9, right? So this is like there's all kinds of essential fatty acid that your body needs in order to function properly. So that's a different type of fish oil. On this side here, which is to your left, you can see that you have tuna oil. Now, tuna oil is good because it's a little bit different because there's more DHA versus EPA. And it's been shown in the literature that the DHA is really good for brain function. So if you're about to lose your brain, right, or you're like, hey, my kids need to be smarter, you want to give them DHA. So I would recommend, this is what I've done with my kids when they were little, right? I would give them tuna oil. I would have them chew them. And I would do that before they go to school because tuna oil, the DHA is known to be like, I don't like the word a downer, but what it does is it calms, right? It has a calming effect. So I would give that if you have kids that are like high energy, you give them all in the morning right before they go to school. So their ability to learn and to retain is better when they take tuna oil. Also, if you have moms that are going through pregnancy, right, it is known, we already know that oftentimes the kid is going to take everything from mom, from her brain, and oftentimes you have postpartum depression, and after mom had the baby, because the baby have been stealing all the essential fatty acid out of the mom. So that would be appropriate. That's when I would be thinking, right, to give tuna oil to the mother as well. So when you have people that are getting older and they're concerned about keeping their brain, then I would be thinking about tuna oil. So tuna oil, the reason why this is different than this guy right here is because it's higher in DHA versus EPA. Does that make sense? About 6-to-1 ratio. Complete reverse, right? DHA, that's the tuna oil. Then you have those guys right here. This is called cod liver oils. Many of you have heard that because your grandmother used to just shove some down your throat and you hated it. But guess what? Those grandmothers, they just knew what they were doing back then, because what happened is cod liver oil is really high in vitamin A, which is great for your immune system, right? And there's also some vitamin D, but there's not a whole lot of vitamin D in cod liver oil. The ratio in nature is about 10-to-1. So you have 10 times more vitamin A than you have vitamin D in cod liver oil when it's at its natural form. Now, obviously, there's some people out there, some of the companies that are selling cod liver oil with the same amount of vitamin D versus vitamin A, which is not in its natural form. Okay, so you also should know that. So also in cod liver oil, is there some fish oil in cod liver oil? The answer is yes. Cod liver oil is fish oil, but it has less essential fatty acid per serving. So that's kind of important to know. If you're looking at taking 2, 3, 4, 5 grams of essential fatty acid per day, cod liver oil might not be your best choice. You might want to go with something like that, right? So back in the days, the grandmothers used to give cod liver oil during the winter because this had some essential fatty acid, but also vitamin A, which is for the immune system, and a little bit of vitamin D. And then here, last but not least, which I want to tell you, is you also have some fish oil out there that have a combination of both, which you have the best of both worlds. What that means is there's some cod liver oil in here. In that same capsule, you also have some fish oil, some essential fatty acid. You have both in its natural form, which I don't know that there's many company that has that, right? So in our office, I have the ability to test people to see what they do best with, right? So then I can make some recommendation of what's going to be best for the person and what they're trying to accomplish. So I just thought I'd give you a little insight into fish oil today and what they do. There's also one that I don't have here. It's in my front office, but it's one that is really high. So remember when I was telling you about tuna oil that has 6-to-1 ratio between DHA versus EPA? There's also a type of fish oil that has a lot of EPA versus DHA, which can be 5, 6, 7, 8 times more of the EPA versus the DHA. And when you read in literature, people that have depression, they would also give them that first thing in the morning, right, to elevate their mood, which is also interesting. So anyway, I just thought that, hopefully this was helpful today to learn a little bit about fish oil and what they do and what you're paying for, right, and what is that good for. The bottom line is, in Dr. Jean-Guy's world, I believe that everybody, if you're on a nutrition basic program, right, you should be taking some type of fish oil. So if you're not on a type of fish oil, right, next time that you're at the office, or you can, you can send me an email, or you can call me, or through our website, or through our Facebook, Just ask some question and then we can guide you into what's best for you. So hopefully this was helpful, and we will talk to you soon. Take care.